This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms and opportunities for businesswomen to be seen and heard. This platform is for the women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. Come and join the Shine On You Crazy Daisy membership, offering online networking, co-working, collaboration, and monthly masterclasses for you to grow your knowledge. Go to thedaisychaingroup.com for more information. These are the platforms to hear and share the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome to the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. And today, I am thrilled and excited to welcome Raimonda from the Women in Business Club. Raimonda, thank you so much for being involved in Shine You Crazy Daisy Volume 4 and in the podcast. Please tell us about your business.
Thank you so much, Trudy. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, my business is called Women in Business Club and also Women Thrive Summit. So the business is an international community and events for female entrepreneurs. So we empower women to start and run successful businesses online.
Yes, you do. Now, what was really interesting is your chapter is basically the journey that you've been on during COVID. But why did you feel that you could lead the way through COVID in a situation that so many were giving up or retreating?
I think we all had a personal choice at that moment in time. And for me, it was, do we sink or swim right now? Because what I realized, everyone is facing the same challenges, the same situation that, we're having to overcome this pandemic and figure out how the next few months, few weeks is going to be. So for us, it was as much as saving our own businesses and just as much as leading the way forward for other people and showing that there are still possibilities, there are still ways of doing business. And knowing that we have such a nice, amazing community globally, I thought, well, if we all come together, surely we will find the answers. So for me, it was kind of no doubt that we just had to do something.
And that's why I really wanted to ask you that question, is because when you ask somebody, why did you feel it was you? You had such a clear vision of what you knew you could do to support others during this time. And the community were almost looking to you to be able to lead them through this. And you did it with the conference and changing things to be online. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I really felt that responsibility for my audience because as a leader for my community, I felt like someone had to step up and do something about it. So it was very exciting and very interesting time because we had to pivot our own plans. So we didn't even have our own clarity of how things will work out. But the only thing we knew that we had to do something. And as we had to pivot our international events, which was our first international event in the United States, it felt like, well, that didn't work out, but then we're not alone and people still need the place to connect. And when we pivoted to online, the blessing in disguise was that we were able to reach, what would have been 250 people event turned out to be 2,000 people event. And I've seen through that process that so many people wanted to actually share their stories. And that was really powerful because when we reached out for speakers, there were hundreds of applicants wanting to speak on our stage. So we've given 34 speakers the global platform to share their voice and empower others. And for me, this was a huge win. What could have been really just a loss, and we could have given up.
What does impact mean to you, and how do you see this in others?
Impact comes in so many shapes and forms, I guess. And for me, starting a business has always been about making an impact. And an impact is really making a difference in this world through your work, through your mission, through, the things that you do with your business or your personal life and the way you share your story, your message. Can you create an impact? Can you create a ripple effect with the thing that you're doing? And for me, the measure of success has always been, what impact are we making? What are we leaving behind this? Because once everything is said and done, what is left behind? Have you made a difference in this world?
I just love that. And when I was reading the chapter, I when you first started talking about it, I thought you're talking about just financial, and it was interesting the pivot and the way that you've been able to express impact and not just talk about it, but really show it. It is not just about making a financial impact for you or for your ripple effect. It's much bigger than that.
No, for me, this event, because we didn't know actually how we were doing it, we didn't have enough time to prepare and plan. Financially, it wasn't a successful event. So it wasn't really about the financial aspect. It was more about what have we done during this time, what we accomplished, the impact that we have made, the charities that we supported, the voices that we have raised, the women's lives that we have turned around as a result, and the team that was able to still keep at the end of the day, because we have been able to do and continue our work in this new way. For me, that was a success, even if financially it wasn't.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you think that we can thrive in our comfort zone?
Comfort zones are dangerous because, especially once we reach certain level of success, we sometimes can get a little bit comfortable, and that is a really deadly place to be, because once we're comfortable, we don't want to progress. We don't want to learn anything new. We think we have it all, we got it all. But things in life change very, very quickly. Around us in terms of technology, social media, how things are done, how things work in business sense. You have to constantly be on your feet and constantly thinking and thriving and striving to learn to do better, to surround yourself with other thought leaders, with other entrepreneurs, have those conversations. I think there is nothing that grows in our comfort zone, so I would avoid that.
Mm. Yeah, and I know that it's called Women Thrive, the conference, and I'm really excited to be a part of it and to also participate in it. But watching you thrive through this time, and again, not just calling it that, you have absolutely proved that you can thrive. And I think that that is all about being outside your comfort zone for watching you as much as anything else.
Yeah, I love pressure. And some people would say, well, why do you set yourself some deadlines that you're not even sure if you're going to meet? You're only putting pressure on yourself. Well, yes, we are in control of our own destiny, especially as entrepreneurs. We are in control of our businesses and our lives. And there is no one on our toes to say, here is what you should do. Here is a deadline that you should meet. But as individuals, I think it's expecting more out of yourself and putting yourself under pressure intentionally so you can see what are you capable of. I started a new routine in the mornings where I go for a cold dip in the sea. And in winter time, I mean, when I look around, people wearing their hats, their woolly hats and their coats. And here is me in my bikini. I run off to the beach and I have a dip. Now, no one is telling me to go and have a dip every morning, but every morning I put myself outside of my comfort zone. And every morning my mind says, well, it's so comfortable and cozy. You don't really have to do this today, do you? And I just spring out of bed and I stop listening to my mind and I just do what I know I need to do. So that has taught me that if you continuously push yourself outside of your comfort zone, do the things that are difficult to do, the things that you fear, actually over time your mind will stop telling you that this is impossible.
Yeah.
Over time your mind will stop telling you that you can't do it, because you're going to prove to yourself that you can do it over and over and over again. And our mind's wired in a way that it needs evidence, so you give that mind the evidence. Look, I have done it once, so tomorrow it's not going to be that hard. So stop being in your comfort zone, get out there, try something that you're afraid of. And like yourself, Trudy, you have launched multiple books, the things that you probably didn't even think that it was possible for you a year or 2 years ago. Look at you now, like you're doing these amazing things where, yes, this was very scary, I'm sure, but look at where you are now.
But it's all about taking action, isn't it? And it's taking action out of your comfort zone and finding what your level of achievement can be when you do that. I love it. I love these conversations. They get so exciting. I'm like, yes, yes. If there's one lesson that you've learned that you want every entrepreneur to know, what would it be?
There are so many, but don't listen to other people saying that it's impossible. Don't listen to other people saying that this may fail. There's always that risk that things may not work out. And usually the things may not work out the way you anticipate or the way you plan. And you're going to have to find a plan, build that road along the way, but do what your heart tells you to do. Truly tap into your intuition, because especially if female entrepreneurs listening to this, women particularly have deep intuition and deep knowing, not from a place of fear, not from a place of worry, but if you really tap into it, your mind knows what you need to do. So I encourage you to follow that voice inside and don't listen to anybody else, because people have told me this is not the way to do it. This is not the way to do it. Yes, I have had to learn my own lessons along the way, but you're going to do it your way. And doing it your way is the most authentic and genuine way that you can do it.
When I start this podcast, the beginning says this is for the tenacious and the rebellious. And honestly, some of the people I speak to, I just think you encapsulate that so much. And that's you.
Rebellious, for sure.
What's your favorite business book?
My favorite business book, I'm not sure if you can call it a business book, but something that has set my mindset onto success path has been Think and Grow Rich. The first time I read it, I could not put it down. I remember walking on a train and holding my book all the way. And I think I read it 2 or 3 times, gave it to all of my friends, because it's the mindset, it's the mentality of success. And there are so many lessons within it, and lessons within lessons, and many stories on there, that if you truly believe that you're destined for success, that you are going to accomplish it, and you come determined and prepared, it will happen. Yeah. It's just a matter of time. And for me, that book, I could read it over and over again because I always find new gems.
I'm listening to you talking, I'm going, women in business, activate. We need something to shout out loud sometimes. That is an incredible book and very much should be on everybody's reading list, because it is phenomenal, the way that it lays things out, and the fact that it's so old and it's the same things that we're looking at now is brilliant. Raimonda, this has been an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for being involved in the book and the podcast, and I can't wait to be involved in Women Thrive.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your platform, and to all of you listening, keep thriving, keep going for your dreams and accomplishing everything that you set out to do in this life.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please like the video and click the subscribe button for this channel for more inspiration. If you're a businesswoman looking for that community that will support you and lift you up, come and join the Shine On You Crazy Daisy membership, offering online networking, co-working, collaboration and monthly masterclasses to grow your knowledge. Go to thedaisychaingroup.com for more information. And for even more inspiration, please go to the link under the video and get your copy of the Shine On You Crazy Daisy series of books with inspirational and motivating stories from businesswomen around the world.